one trying to live free, and God knows. See a man with a blue tie, see a man with a red tie. So how about we tie ourselves together and get it done? Do what's right for America. And don't we ask from you with some honesty and motivation, give us something to believe. I'm only one woman with a voice, there's something we got in common. Need a bottle, well then look at me. He's a Democrat, he's Republican. There's a fight in a race, who's gonna win? Put your differences aside, man, if you can. Cause there's way too many people suffering. I wish they didn't have no labels. There'd be more change with no labels. My kids will grow up soon, your kids will grow up too. Wouldn't you like to see them raised up next to good hospitals and good schools? Don't want them in a juvenile facility or growing up with mental disabilities. When all the time you could have made a difference, but you decided to roll with a party. Are you kidding me? Cause all we ask from you is some honesty and motivation, give us something to believe. I'm only one woman with a voice, it's something we got in common. Need a model, well then look at me. He's a Democrat, he's Republican. There's a fight in the race, who's gonna win? Put your differences aside, man, if you can. Cause there's way too many people suffering. I wish they didn't have no labels. There'd be more change with no labels.
7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America.
In the spirit of Jefferson, let us affirm that in this chamber tonight, there are no Republicans, no Democrats, just Americans.
My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper.
He's a Democrat, he's Republican. There's a fight in the race, who's gonna win? Put your differences aside, man, if you can. Cause there's way too many people suffering. I wish they didn't have no labels. There'd be more change with no labels. I wish they didn't have no labels. There'd be more change with no labels. Get it done.
Welcome. It's great to have everyone here with us tonight at such an important time for our country and for No Labels. Tonight, we are welcoming Dr. Benjamin F. Chavis Jr. into the No Labels family. Dr. Chavis has been a towering force in America's fight for civil rights, and we are so lucky to be welcoming him. Our 30-minute program will be brief but powerful. We'll hear from some special guests from Washington and across the country, from our founder, Nancy Jacobson, and from Dr. Chavis himself. For those of you who may not be familiar with Dr. Chavis's truly extraordinary life, we have a short video for you now. Enjoy.
I was born on January 22nd, 1948, in Oxford, North Carolina, Granville County, North Carolina. The Chavis family has been in Granville County for over 200 years. My great-great-great-great-grandfather was the Reverend John Chavis, who was an educator, first African-American to attend Princeton University, first African-American to be ordained as a Presbyterian minister in the United States. I became the statewide youth coordinator for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference at the age of 14. I had the privilege, actually, to work with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. from the time I was 14 on up till I became an adult. I was so impressed not only with Dr. King's oratory, but I was impressed with Dr. King's commitment to help people who were less fortunate, to help people who were discriminated against, but to give them some sense not just of hope, but what it is people can do to improve their quality of life. Even while the system of inequality was in place, we always strive for equality. Lyndon Baines Johnson, a Texan, a Southerner, president, led the way to get the Civil Rights Act of 1964. But President Johnson couldn't do it without the support of Senator Everett Dirksen, Republican from Illinois. The Civil Rights Bill of 1964 was only made possible because of bipartisanship. It was only made possible because Democrats and Republicans agreed to work together. 1 year later, we passed the Voting Rights Act in 1965. Again, bipartisan. 1968, the Fair Housing Act is passed, bipartisan. Tragically, Dr. King is assassinated in 68. So what do? We got to keep moving. We got to keep organizing. We got to keep mobilizing. That's what led me to Wilmington, North Carolina in February of 1971. It was a paramilitary white supremacist group called the ROWP, the Rights of White People Organization. They physically attacked us in the church, shot up the church, people wounded. We were the victims of the racial violence. But 1 year later, in 1972, the state of North Carolina indicts me and 9 other people and said, you guys are responsible for the violence that happened in Wilmington in 71. We became known as the Wilmington 10. I was 23 years old at the time. 8 others were 17, 18, and 19 years old, and the judge sentenced the 10 of us to a collective total of 282 years in prison. Convictions were not overturned until December of 1980, almost a decade later. I was asked by a reporter from the Charlotte Observer, what was my greatest learning while I was unjustly imprisoned as a member of the Wilmington 10? Simply, I learned and affirmed the oneness of humanity. I think we're all part of one human family. Dr. King taught us that bitterness only distorts the beholder. History shows, if we keep working at it, these divisions can be overcome. And when we overcome these divisions, we make progress in a bipartisan way. And quite frankly, that's what attracted me to No Labels, because I see this effort to get people to work together who may have diverse political opinions. They may be Republican, they may be Democrat, they may be independent, all part of one human family. We need to restore bipartisanship in American Congress. We need to restore bipartisanship at the state legislative level. We need to restore bipartisanship at local and municipal level. Most Americans now are kind of worn out with all of the divisions, looking for a way forward. I believe that No Labels offers a way forward.
Now, Dr. Chavis, we have a few people that want to welcome and congratulate you joining us from Washington and across the country.
I am thrilled to welcome Dr. Ben Chavis as the new fellow co-chair of No Labels. He will add enormously to this movement based on his history as a leader of the civil rights movement, but also based on the kind of person he is, a man of faith who has been true to his values, who's always been a bridge builder, and who will bring civility to anything he does, all of which we sorely need, not only in our government today, but in our country. Ben will help No Labels make the government work and therefore help the government diminish the division and hatred that has been let loose in our society. Welcome, Ben. I look forward to working with you, my friend.
I wish I could be there with you tonight, but I am thrilled to congratulate Dr. Benjamin Chavis on joining No Labels. I want to thank Nancy Jacobson and the entire No Labels team for all of the great work that you do every single day. It's been my honor to work with my friend, Senator Joe Lieberman, these past 2 years. And I know Dr. Chavis will be a great addition to the leadership team of No Labels. Dr. Chavis shares our commitment to bringing people together to achieve common sense solutions for all Americans, and to have the courage to put country before party. Having worked with Dr. Martin Luther King, Dr. Chavis knows what it means to fight for freedom and respect for all Americans. And that's exactly what No Labels stands for. With our country historically divided, it's going to take all of us working together to secure that better future. I look forward to seeing you all soon and continuing to fight with you for all Americans.
I want to welcome Dr. Chavis to the No Labels family. when I got involved way back in 2010. I just got elected to the United States Senate after being governor of the great state of West Virginia. And this was November of 2010. And I was looking for someone or some venue that would bring this country, keep this country united. I only found one at that time that was reaching across Democrats and Republicans, and that was No Labels. That's a long time ago, and I've still been involved ever since, and glad I have, because we're still working to unite this country. And if you think about the last 2 years, what we've done in a bipartisan way, because of the No Labels involvement, was we had an Energy Act of 2020, first time in many years. We had a bipartisan infrastructure bill, and then we had the CHIPS Act. That was all done working for the betterment of America through bipartisanship. That's what No Labels is about. So I am thrilled to death to have the experience that Dr. Chavis has, the wealth of knowledge that he has gained over the years, to share that with us so we can continue to make this a more perfect union by uniting and keeping America united. It's the United States of America, and that's what we're all about.
It's a great pleasure to welcome Dr. Ben Chavis as the new national co-chair of No Labels. As a highly respected civil rights leader, his service alongside Senator Joe Lieberman and Governor Larry Hogan will help move our organization and our nation forward. Dr. Chavis has dedicated his life to championing equality and encouraging our nation to live up to its ideals. He wonderfully described the values of No Labels this way: we believe in American unity, democracy, and opportunity for all. We believe in mutual respect and responsibility. We believe in the Constitution and the universality of equal rights and justice for all. For more than 12 years, No Labels has advanced those beliefs by offering a nonpartisan alternative to the political divisiveness. Most recently, No Labels was instrumental in ensuring passage of the Electoral Count Reform Act. Americans want cooperation in Washington. Through all the noise, our citizens still hear the voices of the founders describing a republic built on a foundation of rights, responsibility, and respect. I am proud to join you in this important cause.
Dr. Ben, thank you for taking on a leadership role with No Labels. You told me recently in a private conversation, there are so many that are asking Americans, encouraging them even to focus on their fears. But instead, we should focus on our hopes. That's what you will bring to leadership of No Labels, an organization which asks people to look beyond differences and instead to look to the hopes of America, and you will put an exclamation mark behind it. You are the right person for the right time with the right organization. There'll be nothing but good that happens from your leadership. Thanks for taking it on. Welcome.
So when I talk to No Labels supporters across the country, or when I talk to problem solvers in Congress, they all talk about the love they have for this mission because it's about doing things together. It's not about division or subtraction. It's about addition and multiplication. And when I look at Dr. Chavis, when I look at his history and his contributions, his unbelievable career, this is a guy who has always talked about doing things together, about advancing humanity together, about addition and about multiplication. So I just have to say, hand, meet, glove. I'm not sure there has ever been a marriage that has made more sense or that is going to be a better fit than Dr. Chavis as one of the new national co-chairs of No Labels. I'm here for it. I'm excited.
Please welcome No Labels founder, Nancy Jacobson.
12 years ago, when we founded No Labels, we had a vision. We wanted to organize citizens all across this country to let their voice elevate so that they could tell our leaders in Washington to put labels aside and solve problems. We've come a long way. We've done a lot of important things, but there's so much more to do. And that's why I'm so thrilled and heartened to know that we will be welcoming Dr. Benjamin Chavis into our leadership ranks as the new national co-chairman. I believe in kismet. I believe in fate. About a year ago, I was introduced to Dr. Chavis. We had lunch together. And over the course of that lunch, I knew to make it my mission to find a way to have him have engagement in this organization. He is such a powerful life story that is a lesson to all of us. It's about forgiveness. It's about moving on. It's about turning the page. It's about opening your heart. And that is what all of us need to remember. We need to call up our better angels if we as a nation are going to move on into the 21st century together. So I am thrilled to have him here. He's going to be a source of great wisdom and counsel and guidance for all of us. And I hope you all will welcome him into this new community. So Dr. Benjamin Chavis, welcome.
First and foremost, I really want to thank Nancy and all those that know labels for giving me this amazing opportunity to work together, to work for bipartisanship, and to work to strengthen our democracy across our nation. I'm very pleased to join Senator Joseph Lieberman and Governor Larry Hogan as co-chairs of No Labels. As a veteran of the civil rights movement during the last 6 decades, I've learned a few things about the importance of people working together across lines of race, across lines of ethnicity, across lines of language, across lines of geography. You know, there are many things that divide us, but I want to work on the things that unite us as Americans. And I believe No Labels offers that opportunity, but also that responsibility to move forward. We've made a lot of progress over the last 60 years, but we still have ways to go. We still have not achieved full racial equality, full justice, full respect. In some sense, there's some resurgence of racism, some resurgence of anti-Semitism, some resurgence of hatred. That concerns me, you know, and we need to not just be spectators to things that go wrong. We need to stand up and try to work on things that will help improve the quality of life of all people. And that's why I'm really enthusiastic about working now with No Labels. I believe that we got the Civil Rights Bill in 1964 because of bipartisanship. Same thing with the Voting Rights Act of 1965. It was bipartisanship. In 1968, it was the Fair Housing Act. We got it because of bipartisanship. The infrastructure bill that was just passed, or the CHIPS bill that was just passed, or keeping our nation from defaulting on debt. All these things are going to happen because, and will happen because of bipartisanship. That's why I want to salute the Problem Solvers Caucus in the Congress of the United States. They've done great work. And I believe that even as things may appear to be divided in Washington, D.C. today, I think the Problem Solvers Caucus is going to be needed more today and going forward over the next several years than ever before. And those of us in No Labels, we're going to encourage the Problem Solvers Caucus. Now, as my first duty as co-chair of No Labels is to present our 6 core beliefs. People have asked me, Ben, why are you joining No Labels? And one of the reasons why, because we all have agreed to work collectively on 6 core beliefs. I'm going to read them now. Number 1, we care about this country more than the demands of any political party. Number 2, political leaders need to listen more to the majority of Americans and less to the extremes on the far left or the far right. Number 3, we're grateful to live in a country where we can openly disagree with people. Number 4, America isn't perfect, but we love this country and would not want to live in any other place. Number 5, we can still love and respect people who do not share our political opinions. And last but not least, number 6, we support and are very grateful for the United States military. We thank all for their service. I'm optimistic today about America's future. I know the progress that the Problem Solvers Caucus has already made and will continue to make. I believe that No Labels offers an opportunity, and we encourage all those who are listening. Join and support No Labels. Join with us. Let's strengthen our democracy. We need bipartisanship today more than ever before. We believe not only that bipartisanship should exist in the Congress, but also in state legislatures across the country. We stand for equality. We stand for freedom. We stand for justice. We stand for democracy. We stand for economic prosperity. We stand for No Labels.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Benjamin Chavis, your new No Labels co-chair, welcome. Thank you so much for underscoring something that truly bonds us together as a community, which are these shared beliefs. If you believe like us that these beliefs speak to you, please share them with your family, your friends, your networks. Go to nolabels.org and get your copy to start spreading the word now. And now, to bring our program to a close, we want to welcome the Howard University Gospel Choir from Dr. Chavis's alma mater.
Hatred, chaos, and adversity. So much confusion taking over. It seems as if we're losing peace as life's journey leads you onward. Don't forget this golden rule is up to you. In all you do unto others and love your brother. Do unto others as you would have them do unto others, and help each other, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Sometimes life is overwhelming with its pain and suffering, and we are easily distracted when we pursue material things. That we forget to lift the hand, to lift up our fellow man. How will we mend, bring healing to our land? And love your brother, do unto others